Hi guys, today I've got a review for you on the VooDoo Spinal Tap 3. I got this bag in 9 days ago, but luckily I've been able to play a lot in the last 9 days. I've got 5 rounds that I've played with this bag, 2 tournament rounds, 2 casual rounds, and then 1 round of doubles. So I've been able to experiment with it quite a bit, and I've got a fair bit to show you about this bag. The first thing I'll mention is I was really frustrated even before this bag came in with VooDoo, and it was because they had no communication with me past the email that they sent as a purchase confirmation. When they sent that purchase confirmation email, it showed, I'll just flip over and actually show it to you. You can see it right there. I got this on sale, $129. I paid $20 for shipping, and I underlined it. We will notify you when it has been sent. And they failed to do that. I waited, and once I knew that they already should have sent it out, but hadn't, I sent them an email. A day later, I contacted them on Facebook, no response, and then the bag just showed up. The overall time wasn't too bad. It was just about a week from when I bought it for when they got it to me. But that sent me searching. I was looking on different forums, and for months now, there has been posts, people complaining about the exact same thing. No shipping confirmation sent, and then a complete lack of response from VooDoo. So I was really disappointed right out of the gate. It's not that hard to communicate with customers if they're, for whatever reason, on an extended vacation, or they're understaffed, and, the great sale that they're having on their bags right now is overworked them. Then it only takes a few minutes to update that first email and at least not set up your customers for disappointment. That first email should say, we'll ship your bag out when you have time. If you have questions, contact us. We're super busy. That's it, right? It could be super simple, and they'd be communicating well that at least they're having issues. And that's an automated email. They have to fix it once, and then it'll go out to people that way. But they can't even be bothered with that. One of the things I did find in my search for, what on earth was going on with VooDoo, I found at least one person talking about that they thought they'd gone out of business, that VooDoo had actually closed, and that they sold their stock to an eBay seller. So I went and started tracking that down, and you can see it right here. Carry It for Less is a seller on eBay with nearly 5,000 feedback, and it's 100% positive. So that looks pretty good to me. And they're selling this bag for $99, even less than what I was able to get it for. And they've sold a number of them. It says they've got more than 10 available. They've got all the different colors for them. So I thought that was interesting, and I wonder if maybe that is who's doing all the shipping and handling the orders and stuff for VooDoo now, and maybe VooDoo's out of business. Once that came up, then I kind of subscribed to that speculation, thinking VooDoo was just gone out of business. Then I was over it. I wasn't really upset anymore. It still sucks that there's a communication breakdown. If they've gone out of business, then it sucks that I probably can't return my bag. I mean, I don't know how that even works. If I had a warranty issue, what kind of a nightmare would it be trying to contact and work that out with a company that just won't respond to emails or Facebook comments at all, and hasn't for months. Regardless of that, the price that I paid for the bag at like $129 or whatever it was, much less than $99 that I could have got it for on eBay. I think this bag is an excellent deal. And now that I got that negativity out of the way, I can just jump in and tell you all the stuff I do like about this bag. First impression of this bag, when I looked at pictures of them online and seen this, very reflective material, like they've got it in a few different colors, that purple, blue, and then this is the silver. I thought that material really popped, and seeing it be so reflective really made me think that it was like an ultra lightweight material, similar to what the Upper Park Shift has, and it is anything but lightweight material. When I picked up the bag off of my porch, the box that this was in, I actually wondered, like my first thought was, did they put 2 bags in here? Did they accidentally ship me 2 different ones? And that wasn't the case. It's just that this thing is extremely heavy. This is the heaviest bag I've ever owned. This thing came in at 2.7 kilos. For reference, the Grip AX15 that you can just barely see hanging out here in the corner, this bag with 5 discs in it is equivalent to what the VooDoo is empty. This thing is so heavy. This reflective material they've put on here is extremely thick stuff, and I don't think they made any single decision on this bag with worrying about weight. You know, weight was not in mind when they did this. There's a few things like this center flap right here. I know that's going to be a little hard to tell in the video, but this is super thick, stiff. It's got a stiffener inside here, and then it has padding. It's squishy. It bounces back up. So there's 2 or more layers of material inside this flap, plus, you know, the outer pouch and the fabric on both sides. So like just that piece alone, for basically no reason, that thing doesn't need to be stiff and squishy. It just adds a ton of weight. They've sewn in pockets in other places that have added weight. Another spot that is like kind of unusually thick fabric is the putter pocket. When I untuck that putter pocket and pull it out, like on the many other bags, that putter pocket fabric is just extremely lightweight, and this is really thick stuff. You can see it even bouncing back. It's double layer at least. It almost feels like there's a liner inside of it. I don't know. If you stuck cold beers up there, they'd stay cold for a while on a summer day. I can tell you that. It's so thick it actually would insulate, I think. So getting past the weight of it, the bag carries really well. I've been carrying between 18 to 20 discs in it, and quite a few fluid ounces. So the bag has been very heavy. Once I put all that extra weight in there, I don't notice that the bag itself is heavier. Of course, all the other stuff I'm carrying outweighs that by far. And it handles the weight okay. I think that one of the changes they made in this version, the 3, was changing the height of where the backpack straps sew on. And I can imagine if these sewn up higher, this bag would feel a little weird on your back. But down here, it feels fine. It's, you know, not in the realm of Octothorpe for comfort or the Upper Park Shift for comfort, but you know, we're really talking about different things. This is a extra large bag for $99 if you buy it on eBay. So for that, I think it carries well. The padding in the straps came in at 15 millimeters, which is greater than like what that AX15 has left. The AX15 is 11 millimeters. The Grip's new bags are maybe up to 16 or so they're similar padding on what on this strap is similar to what a Grip bag new would be, but definitely short of the Octothorpe. As you see it here, I've got 4 mids, and then I think I put, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 3 on top. So I do have 20 in it right now. That, you can see I've got a little bit of wiggle room to slide those discs in and out. They're not going to be pinched real tight. But I also don't have a whole lot in the side pockets. In the rounds I've been playing recently, I've had at least 1 layer in there. Yesterday I had a hoodie on one side and a rain jacket on the other. I kept changing layers. And once I had that much stuff packed in there, I wanted to take a couple discs out. So I ended up going down to, I think, 18 total. And then that was leaving them even a little bit loose, so I stuck a towel in there so they weren't clonking back and forth as I walked, which they did start doing. They've sewn in spots that you could potentially put a disc down here if you wanted, or two. This is also Velcro closed, but is big enough you can put a disc in. If you're carrying discs in either of those spots, it's making it a whole lot harder to get discs in and out of the main compartment. So I think if you were going to put a disc in either of those, it'd be just for like a, setting it there just real quickly, and then you're going to pull it back out to use it or wipe it off or whatever, put it away. I really like the pencil pockets that they've put on this bag. You can see they've got 4 sewn across the front. Each of them is big enough for 2 pencils. As you can see, I've got in there. They also hold 1 pencil each fine. Perfect size for a Sharpie as well. I really like being able to carry that many extra pencils and just give them away if somebody needs one. They did, I'm assuming intentionally, but I'm not for sure about it. They did end up sewing a spot on these backpack straps that is just about the right size to put pencils in. I at first thought that was really cool and was excited to see it, and I put pencils in, I think, the left side strap, and then it just bugged me right away, and I had to take them back out before the end of the round even. When you're putting the bag on and off, the straps kind of roll on your shoulders, or you're grabbing it with that hand to help it over, and these pencils were just getting caught both on the side of my hand, my palm. They were getting caught in my shirt as the straps roll over when I put it on. So even though it's kind of a cool idea, and it would be handy if you already had the bag on and needed to grab a pencil, it'd be right in front. But it ain't for me. They got in the way too much by having them up there, so I had to take them away. This bag does ship with a rainfly, and well, maybe I'm embarrassed to say at first I thought it was actually the wrong rainfly. It didn't seem like it fit the bag. It would not, I'm used to starting a rainfly on top and pulling it down the front, and I could not get that sucker on. It takes up a fair bit of space if you've got it stuck in the side pocket. It's not too much different than other rainflies out there. The trick ended up being that I had to start it on the bottom. Like it will not stretch enough if you start on top. But once you've got it on there, it's just fine. It's got that main center flap that opens and gives you access both to your front compartment here, your putters, and the front of the bag. It's a real snug fit. It'd certainly keep things dry. It's nice that it's just included. You don't have to purchase it separately. That's pretty sweet. Within probably 20 minutes or so of getting this bag, I cut the zipper pulls. It's just silly to me. I left one zipper pull how they originally had it, and it's this one up on the putter pocket here. Look how long that thing is. I don't know why they would tie zipper pulls that long. It just makes it a little awkward to use. Like, look how far that thing stretches out. Like, are you kidding me? It makes you do some weird stuff to make zippers work. And that ain't a big deal. It's a quick little fix. I just went and tied knots on each of them shorter, and then cut the excess away. That's what all of these were that long. But I just went in and cut them. I only left that one so I could show you. The putter pocket on this is a little bit unique. It's sewn on a curve here up front, which means that it's a little tight when you're trying to put discs in and out. Like, I've got 3 putters here, for example, and that, you can tell I was pushing way harder than you ever would, but you're not going to slip 3 in that way. But once they're in there, 3 fit easy. I could fit even another one. But the more that I put in there, you can see it's pushing those putters forward, so they're starting to collide with stuff in my, valuables pocket. So you got to keep that in mind. The putters also do sit low. 3 seems just about right. I'm throwing in, got an approach in there and then 2 putting putters. And that's worked really well for me. It is hard for me to see in it. They kind of, sit to the front, so it's hard to tell if I've got 2 or 3 in there. But I've wondered a couple times if I had misplaced or forgot to pick up my approach disc. I had to stick my hand in there and pull them so I could see all 3 that are in there. You can tell that they're also sitting below the height of the top of the bag. So they're not like quick access. You've got to reach in there to extract the putters. And I do like the putters to sit a little bit higher. So at first I thought what I would do is have a towel in there in the bottom, which is what I used to do with the grip all the time, and that would make my putters sit higher. And it certainly does, but it then means that the putters can't go low enough that they slide into that extra forward space. So I fight a little bit more pulling them in and out every time because of that angled zipper up there. With the towel in there too, even when the discs are sitting up, that towel really pushes on this valuables pocket. So I feel like that valuables pocket's gotten smaller. So I've not been keeping a towel up there, just my 3 putters, and that seems to be just about the right middle ground. I like the little mini pocket that they've sewn up front on this. That elastic is just about perfect. It does sit maybe like a little tighter than I'd like. Sometimes, my mini I can't just slip it in there. I gotta like get my finger in and spread it out first. I'm sure that'd stretch a little bit over time and kind of take shape to whatever size of mini marker you're using, and will be easier to get it in and out of. You could fit a lot of stuff in this little valuables pocket. Like that's my phone tall ways inside there, and then I've also got my keys sitting in there, and I've got my wallet and a pack of gum. I don't really like mixing all that stuff into the same pocket, but you don't have a whole lot of other great options on this bag. I've actually been carrying, just that last round that I played, I kept my phone in one of these side pockets down here, which I didn't really think I'd do. I don't like my phone being down low where it can get wet or get kicked or whatever. And it was a wet round. The grass was wet the whole time. But even though the bottom of my bag got wet a little bit, my phone didn't. And what I ended up liking having it in here is I was keeping track on U-disc for that round. And that means I'm picking my phone up every single hole. And to have to like reach in here and find my phone and pull it out just isn't as convenient as having it right here. Also, when I sit my bag down, I was kicking it back and sitting on the discs quite a bit. It was a little bit of a slower round. And as soon as I sit down like that, I still got quick access to my phone to check the distance of the next hole or input score, whatever. So these side pockets is one of the things that surprised me the most. That's just like a very simple thing. It's not on a whole lot different than what the grip has. The grip bag has these extra little sleeves over here, but it fits the phone kind of loosely. I've even got a roll of, dog poop bags sitting there in the bottom. But that pocket's also big enough to hold a 12-ounce can. And that does push on, my main side pocket a little bit. But you could fit easily, crushed empties in there or whatever. And you're not doing that on a grip. You don't have that much extra room in a grip. So you can carry a lot of cans with this thing. I even had... do I have another one in here? Yeah. If you use your drink holder with cans, you can actually go 2 deep, and that top one just sits out about halfway, which is, kind of convenient. If you're carrying, sparkling water or whatever your 12-ounce of choice is, you can carry a lot of them with this bag. The little Velcro straps they've got on the sides here, they're mirrored. There's one on each side. They're perfect for one of the trifold stools, sticking the legs of the stools in your drink holder, and then you can unvelcro that and put your stool through and velcro it down. I'm sure they are calling that an umbrella holder as well. I didn't actually double check to see, but it makes sense that they would. The problem with that is on the strap, we've got our 2 blocks of Velcro. So that means I'm limited to how much overlap I get. You know, right there is too far. That gives me just like a little bit of overlap. The reason that's a problem, if I put it through here, and let's pretend I'm trying to cinch down as tight as I can to get it on an umbrella, well, I'm out of material, you know. That's about how big an umbrella would be, and I'd want to tighten it down, and I can't overlap at all. I've gone through all the fabric, so if they really wanted that to be for tying down an umbrella and wanted you to be able to secure it tightly, then they totally messed up on cutting this piece of Velcro too short. They either needed to make it long so it'd come all the way down on this dead empty part of the fabric, or just move it over there. I don't know. That ain't the end of the world. You could figure something out there if you really wanted to tie down an umbrella tighter, I'm sure, and get creative with it. Or you just got to carry your umbrella. This bag does have a very rigid frame, including a hard plastic bottom and then the 2 plastic runners. The back is very stiff on this bag, and they've got a pretty average amount of padding. It, you know, doesn't feel uncomfortable really. It's boxy. It's like carrying just a box on your back, a heavy one, but it's what you'd expect for what you see in this bag. It has really stiff vertical inserts in the side panels as well. It's not the kind of bag that's gonna squish over. This thing should stay, you know, vertical and looking tight for quite a long time. And I think overall it's a good looking bag. I've got compliments on it. It maybe isn't like my favorite, you know, design on the logo and whatnot, but I think that the lines of the bag and the fabric they're using really makes it pop. I've never seen a bag that they use so many different types of fabric. And that kind of leads me to these tall side pockets. I was a little disappointed to see where they anchored those zippers. You know, this is a huge pocket. It's wide enough that you can put discs in here. If, for whatever reason, carrying, you know, 20 or so in the main compartment isn't enough, you can totally put discs right in the side. That's wide enough down there. I mean, how many you can put in depends probably on what you've got in these other pockets, but you can fit, you know, 3 to 6 probably in there if you wanted to. The different fabric part of it, well, let's see, I was talking about that zipper. Yeah, but it is a giant pocket. You can fit discs in if you want, but it's really hard to see in there. If they would have anchored this zipper on top and brought it a little higher, just another inch back here, or changed, and instead of having the zipper come down on a line right here, maybe come out all the way on this side, that would just let it, either of those two would let it open a lot wider. But as it is, it just really wants to stay closed. And it's a super deep pocket, so it's a little bit unfortunate that it's so hard to see in there. You can see this side does have a little D-ring here mounted at the top if you wanted to hang keys from it or hang bag tags. Whatever your stuff is, you're good to go. You can hang all kinds of stuff off of these as well if you want to hang more stuff on the outside of your bag. Once we get low in these pockets, you can see that I'm starting to uncover some more stitching down here, and this is just like nearly impossible to see inside. So I actually spent quite a bit of time taking pictures because I knew I wasn't going to be able to show it to you in the video. So let me switch my screen over. That is looking inside the left side of the bag. They're a little bit different accessory pockets. So from the front, this is on the left-hand side. you can see on this picture there is double poles. That's a pole right there, and that's another one. Then if you pull that Velcro up, then there's two different things you've uncovered. I jammed Allen wrenches in here so it was a little easier for me to show. But this left side zipper or Velcro pulled up then uncovers this one pocket that I've got 2 Allen wrenches in. You could pull that one and there's another small pocket there. And then slightly down lower, there's a much wider pocket that runs across that width. You couldn't fit a whole lot of stuff in there. I mean, you could put more pencils in there. You could get a phone in the lower section of that pocket, but anything you put in there is just buried. Like if you've used that side pocket for anything else, even just having the rain fly in there, or a couple cans or Nalgene or whatever, you've lost access to those pockets. So they've used multiple different material on them. There's elastic and I don't know the names of all the different materials, but it's crazy to see what all they put in there. On the right hand side, it does look a little bit different. The double poles are now sewn together, so there's like one lid here. And with that opened up, again, I jammed Allen wrenches in there so you can see. It uncovers 2 small pockets side by side and then one long one that goes across the bottom. So those bottom pockets are almost identical, except one of them has a long lid and one of them has a double, the double pull for whatever reason. On that left-hand side, there is a higher pocket, and this is maybe the one you'd actually use. Sewn above, here's the low stuff all the way down here, and then on this side only, there's this longer pocket, and that is another spot for a cell phone, and it's actually high enough that it's accessible. I mean, you could fit wallet in there. You're probably not going to do keys and a phone, but you could do wallet and keys, or a couple snack bars or something like that. So you've got a couple options for where you want to put the phone. To be honest, I haven't even used this. Once I've got a jacket stuffed in there, then my jacket's sitting high enough that I kind of block access to that. So I'd nearly forgot about it. But in the summer, when I'm carrying around less layers, then maybe that would be a spot I use my phone for my phone a little bit more. Let's see. Let me take a look at my list and see if I missed anything else. I did write a note in here about the haul loop, which until I had a bag from Pound, I never really thought I cared very much about, but this is basically just like the grip haul loop is. I don't think it's one that's grabbed very often. A lot of times if people are picking up with one hand, they're going to just go ahead and grab one of the straps anyways. But there is enough room to get a few fingers in there. It's a little tight for me to try to get my whole hand in it. Especially if you had a glove on or something, then you're trying to poke like one finger through or something like that. These loops on the side actually make decent pockets. If the bag's empty, then I've picked it up and swung it around like that. If you were grabbing with both hands, I don't know, you could kind of use that even if it's full, but it's certainly not the best haul loop. I really like and wish that they would sew in a high arc of material, just like you get on the Pound bags. That's just, I don't know, that's really nice to have the ability to grab the bag quickly in that way. There is a sternum strap on this, as you'd seen, and a couple more D-rings on the straps if you wanted to hang more stuff there. I really like that they have they've got a little tie down for your loose ends. They just put on a little piece of elastic down here, You can slide that strap through. I've got it put through on this one, the other strap, so you can see it just keeps that snug. It's a really nice little touch. I mean, it's a super inexpensive thing for them to do, but I really like that stays put like that. There are drain holes in the big side Nalgene or drink holders, so if you did have a spill, there's a little tiny hole sewn in the corner for that to come out. I think that pretty much covers it. That's everything that I had on my list to talk about. I think that I was gonna pull up, I had one more picture in my bag. Where'd that go? Whatever. For the price, for 99 bucks, this is a really easy bag to recommend. I think it's a great value for that. I think that the fabric and the stitching looks great and seems incredibly durable. If anything, maybe overbuilt. It's unfortunate that you're not carrying around a brand name that you can be proud of. You know, that's part of what I consider when I'm buying a new bag. Is it a company that I like? Is it people that are responsive? Can I feel good about giving recommendation to people to purchase from this company? And I like to spend money with people that I like and that I think are good people. And if, you know, either VooDoo's out of business or they're just letting the middle finger fly to all their customers, either way, that's not a brand that I can be proud of, regardless of how cheap the bag is. So you got to decide where you sit on something like that. But for 99 bucks, man, you'll have a bag that'll last a long time. It can carry a lot of discs. So just for how cheap it is, there's really something to be said about this bag being considered if you're looking for a new one. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.